right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A St. Louis landmark is celebrating 150 years.
There were so many unprecedented elements that had to come together to make the bridge happen.
The history behind Ellis Bridge and its innovative construction. Change of plans, Mother Nature could interrupt your 4th of July festivities. How some are getting their fun in ahead of the storm.
A weather impact alert for the potential of flash flooding before daybreak on the 4th of July. And then damaging wind is possible Thursday night, where the threat of severe weather is highest.
Right now, we are looking at clear skies, but it is about to change as storms move in and will impact your 4th of July holiday. We begin tonight with a weather impact alert. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking these storms, and he's here with our weather impact forecast.
Well, let's go round one here, Mike. As we head through the overnight hours, rain's going to be increasing. So after 2 o'clock through about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, heavy rain in the mix for a good chunk of us. And that means we'll be looking at an impact across the area of the potential for flash flooding, especially on those smaller creeks and streams. Some of us had 3 to 5 inches of rainfall this morning, especially back along the Missouri River. Staying weather aware, making sure those devices are charged and notifications on. And if you're driving early tomorrow morning, if you're one of those folks that's up early, you still have to go to work, even though it's the 4th of July, use caution. The rain will be coming down hard at that point. We're not seeing much right now around the region. That will change after midnight, and most likely after about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Showers and thunderstorms will be developing across the region, generally either side of the Missouri River. Some of that rain's going to be heavy at times, and some of us may see 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. The flood watch includes the metro St. Louis area through 1 a.m. on Friday. The early hours on your 4th of July are wet in the metro area. It will rain tomorrow morning. Then it starts letting up after 10 o'clock. Going into the afternoon, looks like it's mainly dry. But then for the evening, the potential for severe weather. More on that in just a few minutes, Mike.
So the weather is having a big impact on 4th of July festivities across our area.
Some cities are delaying or canceling their celebrations as a precaution. Others are getting in on the action early. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon is live in O'Fallon, Illinois, where thousands gathered tonight to catch fireworks ahead of the holiday. Brent?
Yeah, they sure did. Even some kids are still up at this hour having a bit of fun. They caught that fireworks display today. So many people wanted to be here that they lined up hours in advance just to see the big show. It's what makes the 4th of July the holiday we love to celebrate.
I like all the special colors in the sky.
A day before the holiday, O'Fallon, Illinois was ready to go for this annual fireworks display. We were there as people began securing their viewing spots early here at the O'Fallon Family Sports Park.
I watched the news earlier and saw that it's like just a 20% chance of rain tonight during this time that they're going to be lighting or doing them.
So Terry Kalinowski and his wife and friend decided to come on out, especially since
Tomorrow night it sounds a little less promising.
We knew rain was in the forecast today, tomorrow, so we started contingency plans. Actually, the 7th was going to be an alternate. If this got rained out, we'd already planned for Sunday the 7th.
Fortunately, the show went on. Because of stormy weather on the 4th of July, some places are delaying or canceling their shows altogether.
Usually I go to the Mascuda, but I'm doing that tomorrow night.
All right, the big show lasted all of 12 minutes, but I tell you what, it took much more than that to plan the big event. Now, the fire chief here is reminding you, he says he really wants families to just leave the fireworks to the experts. He says this time of year, far too many children get burned because families try to take matters into their own hands instead of just leaving it with the professionals. We're live in O'Fallon, Illinois. Brent Solomon, 5 on Your Side.
And St. Louis police want to remind you that safety is still the first priority while celebrating this 4th of July, and they're warning of possible protests. Police say if you see someone carrying PVC pipes, which were used at last weekend's Pride Parade protest, you should call 911 immediately. If protesters interrupt the parade, police tell us they will give them a warning and remove them if they don't move. Officials want you to report anything that might look dangerous.
If you're downtown for the parade with your family, having a good time, if you see something that just doesn't look right, let us know. You know, we'll have police, we'll have firefighters, EMS people all over the place. Just kind of say, hey, this doesn't look right, we'll take a look at it. We want to keep the entire city of St. Louis over this holiday weekend safe.
And you can stay up to date on celebrations that may be delayed or canceled because of the weather. Just text the word fireworks to 314-425-5355.
Changes are coming to St. Louis public schools this upcoming school year. 70 bus routes must be eliminated after the bus contract ended early. An emergency transportation plan was adopted at a school board meeting Tuesday night. Under the plan, routes will have staggered start and end times. Vans will be used in areas where there are fewer students, and high schoolers will be asked to ride the Metro. The district says it takes the safety of students seriously.
We're thinking about safety for Metro. The conversations with Bi-State have been around what type of security can be provided, how might we invest in ensuring that we have the level of security on those buses even beyond what typical ridership would be.
The district is asking if any families plan to opt out to let them know. You can find that info on KSDK.com and go to the section as seen on TV.
Gordon F. Moore Park in Alton remains closed 1 week after a massive sinkhole swallowed a portion of the athletic fields. The cause, a collapsed limestone mine. Now a Summer Prospect League baseball team, the Alton River Dragons, is looking for a new home field. Finding fields has been a challenge and the weather isn't helping, but General Manager Dallas Mart says the team is blessed because no one was on the field at the time of the collapse.
To see a 40, 50-foot light pole just sink into the ground and totally disappear is scary. It's affecting us as an organization financially. I know that puts a lot of stress on our ownership. It puts a lot of stress on our employees and our players as well. Again, just consider ourselves lucky that this is all we're dealing with.
The mayor's office did release a statement yesterday saying he is working with the company New Frontier Materials and the Mine Safety and Health Administration to make sure the park is safe before it reopens.
Well, tomorrow's not only America's birthday, it's also the day the Ellis Bridge officially opened 150 years ago.
Yeah, it was the landmark of St. Louis before the arch came along more than 90 years later. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski takes us down the Mississippi for this historic moment.
The Ellis Bridge, when it was completed in 1874, helped people move west and also move goods west.
The Ellis Bridge, built by James Buchanan Eads, officially opened to the public on July 4th, 1874.
He had a local circus operator lend him an elephant, and they walked it across the bridge because the thought was that an elephant wouldn't walk on something that was unstable.
It's the oldest bridge still standing on the Mississippi River, and it was the world's first steel truss bridge.
So there was no large cranes like we had today. There was some steam power, but because of the cantilever method, you could not afford the weight on the tips of the cantilever. So we figured out how to really design or to build the bridge with hand winches.
St. Louis has so many architectural and engineering firsts, in addition to the Ellis Bridge, all detailed in the museum at Gateway Arch National Park.
Starting with the old courthouse, which is part of Gateway Arch National Park. The dome on there was the first of its kind, being made of wrought iron.
There's even a new artifact on loan to the museum.
This is a specimen from the lower chord of the Ellis Bridge. This is an 18-inch tubular, and in the 1970s, early 70s, there was a collision on the bridge which damaged one of the members of the bridge.
While the Ellis Bridge is an amazing landmark and engineering feat, it is so much more than that to our city, the Bi-State, and the region as a whole.
The river was a boundary. The river was a barrier, and it symbolizes breaking through that barrier, right? It symbolizes getting through that east-west. It symbolizes politics and money being pushed aside over what was good for progress. Like, it can symbolize lots of things when it connects to St. Louis history that we can use going forward. When the bridge opened on July 4th, 1874, Eads said, "This will stand as long as it is useful." And I love that because it is still very useful. It's going to stand for a long time, but useful kind of means different things over time.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski. 5 on your side.
And you can hear more from the engineer and historians we spoke to this weekend at the Gateway Arch National Park. There's a special event marking the occasion at 1:35 during Celebrate St. Louis tomorrow. You can even visit an exhibit dedicated to the bridge at the Missouri History Museum. All the details on our website, ksdk.com.
The Paris Olympics are just weeks away, and the country's beauty breathtaking.
They come from all over the world. The place is just amazing.
In our journey to Paris, we'll take you to the site millions of people visit every year. Hurricane Burl pummeling parts of Jamaica. A look at the damage left behind by the powerful storm.
More drenching rain is in the forecast as we kick off the 4th of July. Our weather impact alert continues. Why flash flooding is a concern and when you may have to deal with strong thunderstorm winds.
The Biden administration is working to calm fears after President Biden's debate performance. This comes amid calls for Biden to bow out of the race as lawmakers are fearful he can't win the White House again. But the president and his team are not backing down. The president meeting with allies today, reaffirming his run.
The president is moving forward. He's moving forward as being president. He's moving forward with his campaign.
At least one Democratic lawmaker, Texas Representative Lloyd Doggett, has publicly called to replace Biden on the ticket. A new New York Times Siena College poll conducted after the debate finds that former President Trump leads President Biden by 9 percentage points. The Olympic Games get underway later this month in Paris, and there are so many beautiful places to see in France, including an incredible place on a tidal island that looks like a castle.
Oh, in tonight's journey to Paris, reporter Scott Swan and photojournalist Steve Rhodes from our sister station, WTHR, drove to the west coast of France to see one of the most popular places in the Olympic host country.
Paris may have the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and the Arc de Triomphe. But the most unique spot in France might be on the Normandy coast. 3 million people every year make the pilgrimage
They come from all over the world.
to see a place
The place is just amazing.
called the Wonder of the West,
It has a really long history.
a nearly 1,000-year-old church towering above a village.
Built this massive stone structure.
All built on a tidal island.
We are at Mont Saint-Michel.
Mont Saint-Michel.
Mont Saint-Michel.
Mont Saint-Michel.
Yeah, it's a nice castle built a very long time ago.
Getting to Mont Saint-Michel means crossing a 1.5 mile long causeway, and then the real journey begins. The trek to the top winds through what feels like a medieval movie set.
Is it really a village down below? Yes, it's like any other village.
You go in an alley with a lot of shops along the way.
Only 20 people live here. Bonjour. But thousands of visitors climb the mount every day.
There are a lot of stairs. It's obviously a mountain, so it's quite high.
As you go up, you enter the more religious spaces. Yeah, well, this is a kind of a special area.
According to legend, the Archangel Michael appeared to a bishop in the year 709.
3 times he had visions asking him to build here on that mount an oratory, a sanctuary.
And so it was built.
Architecture is really impressive.
The structures are huge. And there's a lot of different chambers and rooms that you can navigate throughout.
Engineering miracles
It was a challenging project.
made a tiny rock island sacred.
The Archangel, he's all around Mont Saint-Michel. I think even on the highest spire.
Over time, the golden likeness of that archangel has been here to welcome millions.
A place of pilgrimage.
Some faithful,
is magnificent.
others just curious,
Definitely.
but all inspired by Mont Saint Michel.
Mont Saint Michel.
It's a really special place.
Beautiful. Well, the opening ceremony for the Paris Olympics is Friday, July 26th, and you can watch it right here on 5 on your side. For the latest Olympic news and information about local athletes, text the word Paris to 314-425-5355.
Hurricane Burl batters Jamaica. The Category 4 storm hitting the island with winds more than 140 miles per hour. That's paired with heavy rain and a dangerous storm surge. Authorities telling people to stay where they are. One couple on their honeymoon say they had no choice but to hunker down.
We packed our bags and decided to head straight for the airport. And like I said in my Facebook post, it was like a scene out of a doomsday movie. Every line was full, and we were asking every counter we could about flights out, and every single one of them told us there is no way off this island.
Burl has been blamed for at least 7 deaths as it devastated part of the Windward Islands and caused flooding damage in Venezuela. But there have been no deaths reported so far, and hopefully it'll stay that way in Jamaica.
And Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the weather impact forecast.
And that's not expected to have any impact on us, but I will say this very quickly. We are looking at potential for heavy rain. We had that tropical-like rainfall this morning. If you have friends or family that went down towards the Gulf Coast, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, back towards Gulf Shores, just know that swells from Burl will create rip currents down there. So let them know so that they're staying safe. Meanwhile, here at home, we don't have a lot of action at the moment, but after 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, things are going to start flaring up for us. The thunderstorms that are out to our west, as they push in from Nebraska and Kansas, they will initially weaken, but it will initiate more development across our region. Again, outside of a couple of little sprinkles, very light showers north of St. Louis, there's not a lot going on, but the heavy rain is in the forecast, and our weather impact alert from 2 a.m. until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We have a flood watch in effect, and there is a flash flood threat, especially those smaller creeks and streams. Any heavy rainfall in areas that saw that heavy rain today could very well see quick flooding by early tomorrow morning. And where does it set up? Same spots in many cases along the Missouri River, along Interstate 70 that we saw that rainfall last night of 3 to 5 inches. So we're going to stay alert overnight tonight. If you have to be out driving early tomorrow morning, watch for water over the roads. You don't want to drive through if you have flowing water over the roads. Southwest of St. Louis for tomorrow evening. That's our severe weather threat. What happens overnight, early tomorrow morning? Yes, there's going to be heavy rain, but there won't be severe weather. That'll come tomorrow evening, at least that potential. Here we are through the overnight hours. Futurecast increasing the rain across the region, right along the Missouri River, right along the Interstate 70 corridor here. That's where we expect the heaviest rain. That's going to be with us 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then it'll shift east of St. Louis, midday into the afternoon hours, just mostly cloudy, warm, muggy. For the evening hours, this may be good news. The potential for stronger thunderstorms kind of easing in here. After 9 or 10 o'clock, we may be able to get those fireworks displays in, but we'll say from 6 to 1 as we go into tomorrow evening, we may have that potential for severe weather. So that, again, where you want to keep those notifications on and stay weather aware. Feels like 88 right now. That dew point is 74. It is muggy in St. Louis. We'll stay in the 70s tonight. Weather impact alert for tomorrow morning. Then again, really for tomorrow evening. After we get past that, look at this forecast for the next 7 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're pretty good looking days if you're lucky enough to have a 4-day long holiday weekend around the St. Louis area. We just have to get through tomorrow morning with that heavy rain. Hopefully it's moving out in time for the parades. And then if we can time the storms tomorrow evening in after when we would normally have fireworks, maybe we're okay.
Timing is everything. Yep. Scott, thanks. Sports is next.
Mike, I'm going to give you Doug Armstrong, a thrilling City SC win, and a young man who qualified for the Olympics. And it won't cost you a penny. See you in a few minutes.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The Cardinals haven't lost a series in a month. Tomorrow at 11:30, they will try to keep that streak alive because tonight in Pittsburgh, they had the lead late and then coughed it up. 8th inning, 3-1 game, and Wilson Contreras will just cold-cock this one out. 422 feet, a 2-run homer, and we are tied at 3. The game went to extra innings, and the Cardinals take a 4-3 lead on the Alec Burleson sac fly, which will score a streaking Dylan Carlson. Speaking of Burleson, look at this effort in the 10th. No regard for his body at all. But in the bottom of the 10th, O'Neal Cruz will deliver. It scores Andrew McCutchen, and the Pirates walk it off 5-4.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Although City SC hasn't won a game since Moby Dick was a guppy, you kind of knew this was going to happen. Yes, the San Jose Earthquakes have been a natural disaster, the worst team in the MLS by a large margin. And when you change coaches like City did, you normally get a jolt. The joint was jumping. They want their first win since May 11th. Interim head coach John Hackworth trying to change the direction of the franchise, and they caught a break early. Indiana Vasilev said Edward Leuven and a little topspin and luck, and City is up 1-0. Even Leuven had to smile. Second goal, thing of beauty. Leuven fakes, Vasilev kicks, and Jose Kojima with the delicate touch, 2-0 City SC. And Roman Berkey was not going to allow a goal. City ends their 9-match winless streak with a 2-0 win.
For us, while it's very satisfying, it's not a game that we're going to go crazy about and celebrate and say we've turned our season around. We haven't. It's just the first step in trying to get us back in the right direction.
Every day I wake up, I dream about it, being in a race, standing on the podium, getting the gold medal around my neck.
Brandon Miller is ever so close now. The 22-year-old qualified for the Olympics by finishing 3rd in the 800 meters on Sunday night in Eugene, Oregon. It was the fastest 800 meters he has ever run. We figured he deserved another interview, and this is how our station greeted him at 2:15. Come on out.
Really a process, even starting from when I was 11 years old on here for the first time, saying that I wanted to, be an Olympian. So for me, it was about just going back and looking at it and being grateful for all the experiences and all the lessons that I learned leading up to that point.
We were so excited that I didn't care what camera was on me. I just was going to go crazy.
How about you, Angela?
I was very excited. I was at the 200-meter mark cheering him on, and when I saw him cross the finish line in 3rd, it was amazing. Yep.
How do you celebrate that night? What'd you guys do?
I ate some pizza.
That's how you should celebrate. The Blues wrapped up their development camp today at Centene, and maybe their free agency situation also. They signed some guys who should be able to help on the 3rd and 4th lines, and of course, they likely have locked up Pavel Buchnevich for the rest of his career, so it's time for a thought from the GM.
I think we're a better team right now than we were at the end of last season, just with the 3 additions to that part of our lineup. We're faster, we're more determined, we're bigger. Obviously we need the big dogs to be the big dogs. That's the reality of it. We need Kyrou to have a good year, Robert Thomas to have a good year, Booch to have a good year.
And back to the Millers for just a moment. It's really a family affair. The mom, track athlete at Mizzou, coached him from age 5 on. His brother is in the Kansas City Chiefs training camp. They work together, and the dad built like a little mini gym. It's just a great family.
It's so great to see him when you talk to him when he was 11 years old.
That was so cute. Now seeing him as a
So the moral to the story is talk to me when you're young, like Tatum and
you'll make it to the Olympics.
Yeah. And we're still here at 10 o'clock at night doing this.
Thanks, Frank. Well, I have to dig a little deeper when firing up the grill this 4th. How much more the holiday barbecue will cost you this year? Cooking out this holiday is going to cost you more. Prices for groceries are up across the board, but meat will cause the biggest dent. The average cost to feed 10 people at a barbecue is up 5% since last year and up 30% more than 2019. Experts say you'll have to shop around to get the best deal.
And Scott has one final check of this weather impact alert.
Yeah, we should be okay grilling tomorrow afternoon, early evening, but tomorrow morning it is soggy. In fact, we have heavy rain. We have our weather impact alert 6 to 10 tomorrow morning, really starts at 3 a.m. Potential flash flooding in there through the early morning hours. Maybe some severe thunderstorms after about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow night as well.
And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.